Hey everybody, welcome back to Wrenching with Grandpa.
Now featuring Grumpy Monkey Garage.
Yeah, we got Andrew and Rachel from Grumpy Monkey with us this evening. And I need some more meds.
Okay.
All right, well, we're just going to kind of hang out a little bit here, but we got a little treat because
I've never seen the CUDA in person, so I'm really
this
excited
is a
about
whole new experience for him. We're going to get him into the classic car renovation mode, but let's see what we're doing. Hang on. All right.
It's a good intro, I think.
Why don't you climb in there?
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to have me start it?
Yeah. I think the key's
Okay.
to the ignition or it's in the console.
Are we on jack stands, or am I going to...
Oh yeah, you're
I'm
on
pretty
jack.
fat,
You're on
bro.
jack stands, cinder blocks. You know, typical southern restoration work here.
There's a key in the center. I assume that's it.
Don't push on the brake because there's no brakes.
I know.
I
All right.
mean,
We're in park.
yeah.
Is there a manual choke on this one, or is it electric?
No, you don't have to worry about that. Just hit the foot feed maybe a couple of times.
Give it some pump later.
You pump it later. There you go. That's
Okay.
probably more than enough.
Now crank it.
You go for it.
This thing's loud in here, but it's good. I definitely agree with the...
What do you think?
I feel like it's idling a little high. There we go. Just needed some motivation. She's rumbling. All right.
Not too bad for a 57-year-old vehicle, huh?
Well, it's funny. Earlier today, I got a call for a customer with a 1967 F100, and I'll say this starts a whole lot better than that did. I mean, albeit we were there for a no start, but I mean, this thing just came right to life. We fixed the 67, and it's and then it'll start, but it's an old straight six, and it was very cold.
Yeah.
This thing, she just
Well,
one little. Dang, it's running. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty good work you got going here.
you know, I'm just an old guy trying to bring an old girl back to life, and
I think you've done a fantastic job so far.
well, we're getting there. We still got to finish up getting all the brakes rebuilt, the new lines.
This interior, though, like,
Well,
and I don't think people on the internet know, because I certainly didn't when I was looking at his videos. This really is this good. Like,
yeah, and it's all original. None of this interior has been, other than the carpeting. The carpeting is been replaced, but but the seats and the original back seats are back there and all of the carpeting, but I have restored all of the interior parts.
oh, we got working.
Oh yeah,
That's air conditioning. You know,
Yeah.
back in the day,
and look
you
at
just
the,
direct
look,
it right
look
to
at,
your nutsack and it'd keep you cold.
Look at the condition of the weather stripping.
Wow.
Look at that.
Somebody
Now,
babied it.
I do have to get, some new felt for here. And my concept is
Yeah, I do see that.
to all of this black metal in here, I want to color match yellow.
In here?
Yeah.
I don't know. It might clash with the dash. I think.
No. It's got the black. This is original. Look, no cracks. Original. The black up here, I want to do in yellow. Leave this black. Leave the console black.
Do these have rear crank windows? Holy
Yeah.
shit!
And I'll do all of my rear metal work, all of my doors and stuff in matching yellow with the black leather interior and the headliner. Yes, look at
Oh,
that.
it's not even a. I mean, that looks better than the freaking '90s shit boxes I work on.
Well, of course it is. Of course it is.
I cannot get over this little guy right here. Does he have a name? Does the fish have a name? The car, I'm sure does, but does the
You
fish?
know, honestly, I haven't really put a name on the car. Most of them do. How about Battle Barracuda? I don't know. No.
I'll
But
hold this up for you since you're filming.
you know, the pans are all in great shape. I do have some pinhole in here, which
Nothing.
yeah, it's no. The big thing that I haven't been able to find much on is there's actually some sort of a fiberboard or whatever cover that goes in here
Over the spare tire.
over the spare tire and all of this area, but I really haven't been able to find a source for that. But you know, quite honestly, at this point, that's not important.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's not, but when you go to find it, I mean, I'm sure we could get a thin piece of plywood and put the proper carpeting over it and just set that in there as a placeholder. But I really don't think you're ever going to find the original.
Well, no, actually, through some of the sources that I've found, there are places for it. It's just
Holy hell.
very expensive.
Yeah, muy dinero.
Well, yes, indeed. And so, you know, until I find a guy in Mexico City,
Who's willing to sell it cheap?
yeah, you know, that's, like I said, that's down the road, because what we're doing down here is,
got some suspension work going on.
well, yeah, I mean, right now, I've got all these new brake lines.
Ooh, we going with stainless?
That's all stuff that we got from inline tubing.
We're doing the soft lines too, I see.
Yeah, I mean, shit, I've got enough,
right?
I've got enough brake parts over here to probably redo 2 or 3 cars, because I inadvertently ordered more parts than I needed. I've got like 4, 5, 6 flex tubes. But no, I originally bought a hard line that I was going to form myself for it. And when I started stripping out the old system and everything, and I want to tell you something, in these old cars, being that all the brake lines and fuel lines and all that stuff were put into the bodies when they were on the line, you know, before they had all the other crap in the way.
Listen to that door.
Yeah, solid, huh? Mm-hmm. So, I found out after, you know, some pontification that I wasn't up to trying to bend and form all of the wire brake lines.
It's a lot of Cirque du Soleil to get them in there.
No doubt. So, in the coming future, I have plenty of brake line raw stock that we can use for something down the line. But Jerry hooked me up with this company, Inline Tubes or something like that. And I got the whole kit, all of my lines for like, 120, 130 bucks. And it's
Pretty
all
impressive, because you got some pretty long boys here.
Yeah, it's all first quality stuff. I mean, these are my downlines for my new dual chamber master.
This came with a single chamber master cylinder?
The car did.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I
but
can't imagine trying to stop old V8 muscle with a single chamber.
well, most people don't.
Yeah.
And that's why it's kind of hard to see.
I'll give you some light on the situation here.
Oh, there you go. I did put a new dual cylinder, and this is actually a cylinder that was for a 70 Duster, but it plug and play, dual chamber. All the fittings work up. I didn't go with a power, a vacuum booster. Nah, everything I've seen from everybody in my forums, my restoration groups and stuff on these old Mopars, and the fact that I'm keeping disc, not
drums,
not disc, and I'm not trying to make a race car out of her. This should be mucho plenty.
Well, I mean, it's one extra chamber than they had new.
Yeah.
So I don't see why. This is definitely an upgrade I think is worth it.
Yeah, and
brakes are kind of the most important thing a car can do is stop.
Yeah,
followed by steer.
It's kind of hard, to throw a cinder block out the window to the back,
Yeah, I don't even think that would stop this heavy thing.
The only thing that I have considered maybe doing in this brake tweak is putting a cutout.
What do you mean?
Well, so I can shut down the brakes to the back and lock up the front.
So you can do some really awesome burnouts.
Yeah, so I can, burn up some asphalt.
I mean, yeah.
But, other than that, it's going to be pretty well stock. Still looking, for the 4-barrel intake. Want to put it Edelbrock, probably 930 or whatever. I'm more used to Hollies than Edelbrocks, but I want to try to keep it period and product correct. Putting a 4-barrel and a 4-barrel, Edelbrock on it. And, just what it is. So she's a fun little car.
I just do not have the experience on these old cars. I don't have the expertise or the experience. What I have is just awe of what all has had to happen to make this work. Especially now, it's 2023, trying to get parts and figure out the brake line situation. And I am not a patient person, so I definitely don't know.
You and I both. I mean, you're actually trying to fix these cars. I'm trying to keep them on the road in my job in the rental industry. And as well as I do, because of design, engineering, components, materials, the cars that we have today to try to keep on the road are crap.
Well,
I think
there's a fine balance. Here's my honest opinion. These old cars, there's definitely quality. It's harder metal. The stuff was built more easily to work on. I could see all the spark plugs, for instance, and it's a little more user-friendly.
That's always a good thing.
Well, you can't usually see them on modern cars. They're buried under plastic fantastic, so it's a little more difficult to work on. I will say I feel like there's like a mid-ground, and that mid-ground happened to have happened in the 90s to early 2000s. When
Amen.
We had onboard diagnostics, which I think is a huge plus, because what's wrong with it? Well, now I can get at least clues going that direction. But we didn't go crazy like we do now, where we've got this module's not throwing any codes, but it's also not turning the headlights on when we're supposed to have the headlights on. And yes, the car will do it for you now. There's just so much that I feel like we've gone overboard and we've gone the wrong direction with crap. And these old cars are something that I don't have the experience on, but I would love to learn how to do so much with these. But it's all about time, and then where are the parts, and then how much money it costs to put into these. It's not just about, can you do it? It's can you afford to do it? Because I'm sure this car was not cheap, and all the work you're putting into it, it's time. Time is money, and I'm glad you found a project here that you're willing to put all this love into. But man, I don't know. I don't know if this is for everybody. You have to be passionate about it, or else you get frustrated and go, test this thing.
Well, trust me, you have to be passionate about doing restorations on a 50 to 60-year-old vehicle or older.
Or you're going to just get mad.
Yeah, well, trust me, I have had plenty of that, and especially right now because I'm in the process of a total rebuild of the front suspension, and I'm finding that it's more involved than just plug and play because there's a lot of frame parts that are cracked and broken.
Really?
Yeah. Come over here. Let me show you something over here.
I'm looking at this upper A arm. I don't like that.
Yeah. Well, the upper A-frame has all been rebuilt. New ball joint, new.
I mean, where it bolts up, there's that little slit in the middle.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem that we ran across in this whole.
Oh, here we have the whole
Well,
the homicide kit over here with all the picks and axes.
Well, great. I just blew both of the lights on my $35 hobo freight setup.
You don't like the hobo freight setup?
No, I love it. I love it. I mean, but
Oh my! What have we got here?
well, we have a mess.
What's broken, bud?
Well, I spent like the last 2 weekends, trying to get all of this out so that I can rebuild the upper A-frame, bushings and joints.
Can't get it out.
Well, the problem has been that this car has sat for so many years that all of the rubber on the A-frame bushings and everything has, well, the rubber all vulcanized to the bolt. And then you had rust from everything else that, attached itself. And then,
Great.
yeah, and then we found, or I found, that all of the mount places where the camber bolts go through the flanges were cracked or broken. So, it's like, does it never end?
No.
So,
No, it doesn't.
we're kind of at that point right now where we're doing pretty much full suspension because
We're
I've
gonna
all.
end up doing some frame welding before the end of this.
Well,
Like that.
Jerry's got the welder. He's gonna be bringing it over. I've already got the steel over there in the corner for it, and we're gonna be rebuilding that. And I've also got to put new bushings in the torsion bars. Blah 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 blah.
By the time you're done with this car, you're going to have built this car. Like, it's not going to be a
No,
1966 CUDA. It's going to be a 2023 Wrench with Grandpa special.
and you know what? If I'm still around and the price comes up at a really good deal, maybe we'll drop a Hemi in her.
You put a Hemi in here and you don't go to disc brakes or power boost, I think you're in a recipe.
Well,
for
I'll tell you what. You keep buying those old fucking 1500 Ram 5.3s. Maybe
5.7s. Yeah.
yeah, maybe we can put one of those in here. But no, I mean she's a project of love.
For sure.
A very good friend, a dear friend of mine. Gave this car to me at an incredibly good price because he knew that I wanted to save her. And so...
Oh, it's worth saving. It's just, man, people don't understand because when you're looking on the internet, you're like, I'll just fix it. Well, it's a lot more than just fix it.
Yeah.
As you said, it's just domino effect with the suspension and the cracked frame problems and just...
Yeah,
That looks like a nightmare over there.
well, I mean that's the whole thing. I mean it's the difference between what you do every day. You're out there, and we got to talk about your whole mobile auto mechanic service. I mean I worked as a service writer at a dealership for a while back in the 80s before you were born.
Yes.
But
Way to tell the viewers my age there, Grandpa.
yeah, well, you're a kid. I mean, I'm the old guy, right? But I'm intrigued, and hopefully we can maybe do something talking about that whole aspect of the industry because it's something
It
that
is insane.
I don't know a lot about. But I can tell you this: what you do is totally different from what I'm doing. Only because I spend my day detailing cars for a rental company and then I come home on the evenings and the weekends and try to resurrect Frankenstein.
Yeah, and like you were saying, this is a 318, so it's not even the original engine. There's just so much. I think that my industry is probably a lot easier than this industry, with the exception of restoration. If you're doing it for a customer, I'm sure it's different than doing it for yourself. When you're doing auto repair, we would never even touch something this old because of the domino effect you just mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
It gets out of hand. There's no way to quote a customer accurately, and then you're just going to end up with everybody angry and no one has parts. So
No, I'll be
No.
honest with you. A lot of the friends that I have in the restoration industry, YouTube and family, and one thing who are doing these kind of cars, somebody brings something to them, they don't quote a price. I mean, it is what it is. We're going to do everything you want to get it where you want it, but be prepared. It ain't going to be cheap.
Never
Because
is.
it never
Because you've
is.
got-
It never
also,
is.
the skill it takes to do this. If you're paying somebody to do this, who the hell else is going to do it? The skill required is worth money. Like, they can demand whatever they want, and that's the thing. You're gonna pay through the nose for it. But if you're doing it yourself, it's a lot of a work and experience.
Well,
The closest thing I've gotten to a restoration is the '90s Chevy, the one that I did on my channel, the gray one. And then now I'm doing that red '80s Ford, and those we're going older and older and older.
And you and I are going to work on that one together.
The red one,
Yeah, we're going to do some work on that one. But the whole point of it is that these old girls are worthy of saving because they offer true performance, reliability, and longevity when they're dealt with and cared for correctly.
Reliability and Mopar, I don't think those go in the same sentence.
How many Chevys?
All of them?
No. No, I'll be honest with
I go to a car show, I see more Chevelles and Camaros than any Mopars.
Yeah, most
it does
of it-
make them rarer, so I do
Well-
think these are cool.
well, that's because they built a hell of a lot more of them.
Oh yeah, GM was pumping out cars.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
So was Ford though, but you don't see too many of them either. So
Well, you know,
Oh.
it is what it is.
my inner
But,
bow tie's coming out. In the
Well-
spirit of wrenching with Grandpa, I did drive here in a Ram, so can't say too much.
there you go, my friend.
Mopar.
Mopars may not be everybody's taste. And honestly, this is my first Mopar. I grew up with Fords and Chevys and have become more of an aficionado of Volvos and Toyotas.
Toyota, hands down. Everybody who watches my channel.
I'll
knows
tell you
I'm a
what,
Toyota guy.
I'm on board with that. I am a big Toyota fan. You're into the Corollas and stuff. You saw out in my driveway. I'm into Tacomas. And
I
so,
can't be into Tacomas. I ain't got the budget for them. That
well,
Tacoma probably costs more than this car these days.
oh, that Tacoma costs a lot more than this car. Trust me, I got a deal on this car. But that was all because of friendship and the good grace of God. But no, Tacoma, my son totaled out my 2002 arm wrestling with a deer.
You should try not to do that, guys.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea.
Fortunately, he was unhurt, although the 2002 Tacoma fully loaded, blah, 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 it was my work truck, was destroyed.
But he survived, so it was worth it.
Exactly. I mean, he walked away from the accident. And the nice thing about a car like that or a truck like that is with Toyota, the depreciation value is, I mean, insurance companies, they pay you more for cars like that than they do Nissan Frontiers.
Well, I like Frontiers. I'm not going to hate too much.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to hate on anybody. I'm
Insurance
just,
is going to pay out more on a Tacoma, hands down, but
well,
it ain't no rinky-dink Ranger for sure.
yeah, with the Ranger, they'll give you a gift coupon to Starbucks and a Chick-fil-A. But no, you know, it is what it is. But we all have our brand. I'm into Toyotas. Want to get a Supra?
Oh, yeah.
I had an 85 Celica GT. That
Pop
was
up headlights.
oh yeah, all of it. I loved it. What I would like to get is the '85 Supra.
I don't know if you got enough kidneys to pay for that. Them Supras are worth a hell of money these days.
25 to 30K if you can
Yeah.
find one. I've only found 4 that have been restored to original in the last 6 months. But
They're hard to get, but the Supras are so nice.
well, that or the car that I had and had to give away, a 1969 Ford Torino GT, 390,
No, you'd be nice.
4-barrel, competition, 4-speed automatic with 411 rear end.
I bet it did some pretty cool traffic light to traffic light dogging.
Well, I don't know because I bought it and it had a busted flywheel.
You know, that's the 15th or 16th person to tell me a 390 with a busted flywheel. I'm starting to think that was a common problem on those things.
Well,
it must
it-
have been too
it-
thin for that much power out of that big block.
Well, I'll be honest with you, that was the problem. The starter and the flywheels for that setup was not adequate. And I hated it because, as it was, I was driving a 72 Buick Skylark at the time that was a full street mod. And so I sold it just
Buick
to get rid of
Skylark,
it.
that's some Derek Vice Grip specialty right there.
Yeah, well, the one I had a 350 with a Mr. Cam 3/4 street cam, had a Transco shift kit in it,
So it was thumping.
roller hydraulics, running 9-to-1 compression,
Jesus.
and would do 156 miles an hour. Zero
That's
to
a
zero
specific
to zero to
speed.
60 in 5.7.
That's impressive for that old of a car, and that's a heavy car too.
Yeah, it was. And I loved that car. And that's what I was driving when I sold my Torino.
Wow.
But, you know, it is what it is. Hey, listen, everybody, we appreciate you hanging out with us this evening.
Yeah.
Grumpy Monkey Garage,
Come check us
got
out.
check him out. He's doing all kinds of fun stuff. Rachel, love to see you guys here tonight. He's got a Patreon. He's got all kinds of stuff going on.
We had Grandpa compete in one of our car challenges, and he did not use the CUDA. He used something a little more interesting, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, you know, we got some more challenges coming up, and we got a whole yard full of stuff. We've got a Forte GT if you want to do sports car racing. We've got the Tacoma. We've got the Silverado Z71. We've got a 04 Tahoe. And, you know, if you want to get into something really crazy, might have a line on a couple other cars, too, with some big block engines if you want to do some drag and sports car racing.
All right.
It's always good to see my buddies in the house.
Good to see you too, sir.
You too.
We'll see you guys next
Everybody, take care. Thanks
Sure
for
to
joining
like
us
and
this evening.
subscribe to Wrench with Grandpa.
Grumpy Monkey Garage.
That's right.
Y'all be good. See you soon. Bye bye.